Hey guys, today I'm filming my first update for my spring project tin pan. I'm really excited for this update because I was able to finish up 5 products in the first month, which is pretty good. And I do have one item I'm decluttering, and it is very rare for me to declutter something from one of my seasonal projects, but I just can't make myself use it up. And unfortunately for me, I had not tried it at all when I put it in my intro, and that is this little deluxe sample of the Bare Minerals Original Liquid Mineral Foundation. I have the shade number 3 Fairly Light. That is the shade I wear in the Bare Pro foundation, and it matches me really well in that line. Not so much in this line. It goes on to initially look like the right match, but this oxidizes almost immediately. It gets much darker. It got very, very orange. So the shade was a no, but I also hated the formula. It basically gave no coverage. It was not buildable. When I put on more layers, it just like was product smearing around, but it gave no additional coverage. It has like a pretty looking finish on the skin, but it doesn't work for my oily skin. It did not wear nicely. It broke up throughout the day. I got very oily. This just looked awful, and I just can't make myself use it up. I would rather pass it on to someone else and hope that it works better for them, but this does not work for me at all. I don't recommend any of y'all go out and buy it, but if you can get a sample, obviously it's worth trying, but it has to go. So then onto the 5 things that I used up. The first is the Becca First Light Priming Filter. This was a rollover from my winter project pan. And this is where I was at the intro, so I didn't have too much left, but I actually just finished this today. So it did take me the whole month to use up. Of course, I didn't wear makeup every single day, but still. And this is a fine primer. It gives like a lit from within kind of glow to the skin. It's a little bit hydrating, but it just doesn't do much for me. I don't love it. This is not something I'd repurchase. For glowy primers, I much prefer the Becca Backlight Priming Filter and the VDL Lumalayer Primer. I would purchase both of those over this, but I'm very happy to use this up because this was the last glowy or hydrating primer in my collection that I didn't love. I do still have a few others in my collection, but they are like must-haves for me. So this was the final one I had that was not. So I do feel really successful with that. Also, this size is like a value of $16 or something, so that will be great for my end of the year empties. And yes, I'm already thinking that far ahead. The next thing I used up was the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder in the shade 5 Fair, and loose powders are just very hard for me to measure, so I did weigh this. At the intro, it weighed 64.32 grams, and now completely empty, this weighs 58 grams. And I don't necessarily know what that tells you. I guess that the packaging weighs 58 grams, but that's a weight for you. That was the best way I was able to measure this product. And this past month, I used this to set my under eyes and to set my face. This is a phenomenal product, one of the best drugstore products that I've ever used and that I've loved for years. This does give some really, really nice coverage. It looks very smooth on the skin. I love it for under eyes and for face setting. I do also have some Too Faced loose powders that I absolutely love, but they're too dark for me. And I mix in a little bit of this to adjust the shade, and it works perfectly as well. So this is just a holy grail product of mine. And I have 2 backups of it already. And I did bust one open to start using today. So definitely recommend this. Already have repurchased it. It's a great, great product, and it usually does last me quite a while. And I did also use up the other powder I had in this project, which is the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin in Porcelain. This was also a rollover from my winter project pan. So as you can see, it is completely used up, but I will insert the picture from my intro. And I had a decent amount left, but I was able to get through it relatively quickly. And this is a phenomenal pressed powder. It's definitely the best pressed powder with coverage that I've ever tried. It gives great coverage. It looks beautiful on the skin, not too dry or cakey. I have used this before as a powder foundation. It was so beautiful. I'm so disappointed that this was discontinued, and the new Maybelline Superstay powder, I've tried it. I didn't like it near as much as this, but it works out okay for me because I really don't wear pressed powder with coverage. I'm much more of a loose powder person, so it works out okay, but this took me a long time to get through. You have a lot of product, you don't get a lot of kick up, so definitely got my money's worth out of that. And I do have a backup of it that I have started to use, but I'm not gonna add it into this project as a replacement. This is something I will be just leaving in my year-long project pan, hoping to get through by the end of the year, but I'm not gonna make enough progress month to month for it to be worth it to show it in my updates. What I really wanted was to finish the first one that I was working on, which I've done. My fourth item is the Jack Black Intense Therapy Lip Balm. This is just one of the little deluxe size samples, and right after my intro, I cut it open and put all of the product into the sample jar. You can see it is used up, but I will insert the picture from my intro. And there actually was a lot of product in there, so if you have these, definitely cut them open and scoop out the product. Because this is a thicker consistency, it's a little bit harder to squeeze out of the tube when you get down to the bottom. And I love this. It has a thicker consistency, but it's very smooth, it's very hydrating, it doesn't feel sticky. I love the natural mint scent, but if you don't, they have several other scents. This is such a good product, and I used up a lot of different lip balms last year and this year, and they're ones that I would use again if I got them, but this is one of the only ones that I would actually go out and repurchase. And this is between $8 and $10 at Ulta and Sephora, I believe. Definitely will repurchase this in the future. I want to get through a few more lip balms, but probably next time I have a 20% off high-end coupon at Ulta, I'll probably get one of these. So definitely recommend it. Super happy that I cut it open. And like I said, I just finished that today, so do not underestimate those little minis. And the fifth and final product that I finished is probably not a surprise to you guys. This is the Ilia Balmy Gloss Tinted Lip Oil in the shade Only You. I was right here in my intro, so I had less than half the product left. And you can see a bit of the color at the top. I tried to take out the stopper. It wasn't happening, but I did stick out a Q-tip, or I did stick a Q-tip down in there and try to scrape out all the product I could. I love the color of this. It's a really pretty pinky shade. I really enjoy this formula. It's super smooth. It feels very comfortable. It doesn't dry out my lips too much like most other lip oils do. The only negative is that this wears for like 15 minutes and then it's gone. And if this was a drugstore price, I would be able to get over that, but it's such an expensive high-end gloss that I need it to last 30 minutes to an hour. And seriously, 10 or 15 minutes, it's gone with just talking, not eating or drinking. So if I'm able to get this half off at some point, I would consider buying one. But if I had to pay any more than that, I just don't think I could. It's not long lasting enough, but it's a really nice formula and I really enjoyed using it. So now showing you the progress on the items that I have left. The first is the MAC Fix Lavender Spray. This is just the 1 ounce travel size. I was right here in my intro. Now I'm down here. If I'm able to use this at the same rate, I still probably won't finish this until the finale, which is totally fine with me as long as I can finish it within this project. I will be rolling in another face primer. I was going to bring in the full size. It's in my year-long project pan because I do need to start on that one, but I know that's going to take me a lot of the year and I want to finish up a few more deluxe size primers. So I will be adding in the First Day Beauty Pores Be Gone matte primer. I've only used this 2 or 3 times, but when I held it up to the light, there's only half the product in the tube, or I should say the tube is only like halfway full. So I do feel confident that I can finish it by the finale, not in a month, but in 2 months, I do think that I can have this finished up, which will be great. I will be happy to develop more opinions on this because like I said, I've only used it a handful of times. The next thing is a powder from my Hourglass palette. This is one of the finishing powders in the shade Soft Light. And this is where I am. I don't think you'll be able to see any progress. I've been using this like every day, but of course I'm just using a light dusting on the top of my cheekbones and down the center of my face. So I don't need a ton of this. I was just hoping to hit pan by the finale. Don't know if it's gonna happen, but I will continue to use this every time that I put on makeup. Next, we have my bronzers, and I feel like I have made progress in both of these, but I haven't looked at comparison pictures from last month, so I'm excited to do that. So my all over bronzer is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in the original bronzer shade. And this is where I am now. So I basically used up all the product on this side. I know I wore away some of the products over here as well. I'm just wanting to finish this by the finale. I think it's going to be very tight, but I do still think it's possible. Like I said, this is very powdery, but I'm not blowing away the powder kick up. I'm trying to actually use it. If I was just blowing it away, I would be going through this a little bit quicker. So I do believe I made some good progress. We'll see. It's definitely possible. Then for my contour product, I'm using Benefit Hoola bronzer. And I do think I made some progress on this one as well. So this is where we are right now. I've been kind of focusing on these chunks up here and in the middle to try to get those to wear away. And again, this is something that I just hope to finish by the finale. I have more confidence in this than I do in the Hoola bronzer, but again, if I don't finish them, I'm just gonna roll them over into my next project, but I really hope I do. Next, I have my setting spray. This is a mini of the Milani Make It Last Matte. This has 1.18 fluid ounces or 35 mils in it, and I think that the nozzle on here works pretty well, so I'm gonna leave it in this packaging, but I did decide to weigh it, and I did mention a weight in my intro, and that was 2.033 ounces, and when I weighed it today, it was 1.417 ounces. So I have used up a good amount of product. I still feel like there's a lot left, so this might also take till the finale, and again, I'm totally fine with that. I feel like I'm making good progress on it. Then we've got my eye products. The first one is this mini Laura Mercier Caviar stick in the shade Intense Rose Gold. So this is how much product I have left. I will insert the picture on the screen so you can see the tally progress. I'm a little nervous about finishing this one. I do still think it's possible to finish it by the finale, but I'm really gonna need to make sure I'm using this most days that I wear makeup. I'm really enjoying it, but I really want to make sure I use up 2 shadow sticks this year, so I've got to finish this one. My next product is my Benefit Roller Liner Liquid Liner in the brown shade. I am wearing this on my upper lash line today. This is something that I'm not weighing. There's no real way to track the progress other than weight, which I probably should have done, but now it's too late. Then I have my Anastasia eyeshadow in Birkin. I did repress this at the intro, so I will insert that picture. And I do have Anastasia Bengal in here because you guys know I always wear them together. You really can't see a ton of progress. I mean, you can see the little like pin pricks from my brush, but it doesn't look like the actual product has gone down. Not really feeling confident that I'm gonna finish it in this project, but if I don't, I will roll this over. I really just want to finish it this year, but it does work really well with a lot of the shades I tend to reach for in the springtime. So we'll see, I'm doing my best. But basically I'm gonna call this done at the end of the project. That will be 3 months of use, and I did use up a mini in the black shade, and because it is a felt tip liquid liner, it does dry out a little bit quicker. So I do think 3 months is probably how long it's going to last me. I am enjoying using this. I do like the color. Then we have the lip product. So I did put 2 lip balms into my intro. The other was the Fresh Sugar Advanced Therapy Lip Balm, and I have used up a ton in this month. This is all that I have left. Now these lip balms are very soft, very thin. I do go through them pretty quickly, so I'm not that surprised, but if you guys look at that picture there, you can see how much I got through in a month. So this will be done by next update for sure. And I'm not gonna roll in any other lip balms to use. I'm just gonna test out some of the other ones I have in my collection and probably start working on some of them and then pick one to put in my summer project pan. I do have some more full sizes that will take me a while to get through, so I wanna start using them before I put them into a project. And then for my other lip products, I have the Ilia Balmy Gloss Tinted Lip Oil in the shade Linger. I have used this several times I've been using this since I finished up the other color, but you really can't see through the packaging. You can't see any progress. I'm going to continue to apply this before all of my meetings. But like I told you guys, I'm hoping to finish this up before my son comes. I don't know if it's going to happen because that's like 2 weeks from now if I can hold out until my due date. But I'm going to try my best, and I know that I'll find other ways to wear this. I'm just not going to be wearing it around him all the time, but I do still have high hopes that I can finish this. But I am going to go ahead and add in the other lip product I had in mind, which is my clear gloss, and this is the mini Tower 28 lip jelly in the chill shade, 1.36 mls in here. I know people go through these pretty quickly, so I think what I'm going to do is that once I finish this up as my lip balm, I'm gonna use this as a lip balm perhaps, or rotate between like actual lip balms and this to try to get some use out of it. So I probably will be using these at the same time, but I will be using this before my meetings. I'm gonna focus on this one until my son comes, and then I'll probably use this one more because it's clear. But I would like to finish up both of these by the finale. We will see if it's possible, but I really, really hope so. So we'll see what happens. So guys, that was my first update for my spring project pan. Like I said, I think we're off to a good start. There are some products that I don't think I'm gonna hit my goal on. Several others that I think will take me until the finale, which is okay. And really by next update, I think I'm only gonna have the lip balm finished off, which is fine. And then hopefully just good progress on everything else. So I'm feeling excited. We'll see how it goes. I'm really enjoying wearing these products, which is really what, well, that's not what matters to me. I'm lying if I say that. What matters to me is hitting goal, but still, I'm enjoying wearing them, which is important to me. So I would love to know your thoughts on these products in the comments down below, and I would love to know what project pans you are doing currently. I'm also doing a year-long project pan, the Partners in Cream project, as well as a rolling sample project pan. So definitely check those out if you're interested in more project panning content. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.